Hi, I am Mandy of Mad Cow Mandy Designs, and today is a very special episode all about works in progress. We are not talking about your current project that you're real excited about and you're working hard on. We're talking about those other guys. The guys that you got mad at, you shoved them in a bag, that wasn't good enough, so you shoved the bag in the back of a closet and it's been there for 3 or more years. Those are the projects that we're talking about today. So, I am going to share with you what I used to do to try and manage these projects, what I am currently doing to try and manage these projects, and then I am going to share with you all of my projects. Let's go ahead and I have a little video that I took of how many projects I have that are not finished. That's all I can say. They're not finished. They are in, hi Luna. They are in varying stages of not done. So, I have 18 projects. I don't know what to say. It's 18 of them. That's a lot, and it's less than where I started, because I started trying to get this under control about a month and a half ago. And it was over 20 at that point. So, let's talk about what I used to do. This is my traveler's notebook, and I use it as my daily planner. It has several books inside of a case. You can swap them out at any point in time to fit your lifestyle. Every January, I start a new dot grid notebook in it. And every January, I go through and I make a list of all the projects that I haven't finished. I torture myself every January, and I look at this list and I'm like, I'm going to fix it this year. I'm going to do better. And then I close the book. I never look at this list again. I recently changed up the whole way that I was doing my weekly layouts so that I could get a fresh start and maybe some new ideas for new layouts, because I design these notebooks and sometimes you just need a little boost of something to get the imagination going and be able to create more. So I took a step back and I started using just a plain old dot grid notebook. I had some blank space left in my notebook, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to write down that list from January. And I wrote it in there. And then I started looking at it, and I'm like, that's not, this project's missing and that project's missing. My list from January had 8 projects on it. Clearly, I had way more than 8 that needed help. So, for about a week and a half, every day, I would make a round through my studio, and I would collect all of these projects into one location. And I did this every day until I stopped finding projects, because I had projects in the back of the closet, in a box in the closet, at the top of the closet. I had a project in a filing cabinet. How did it get there? I don't know. Anyways, so I wrote that list in my notebook. The only problem is that next week I'm going to turn the page and it's gone. My list is not there anymore. Unless, of course, I have to rewrite it. For about a month and a half now, I have been mean to myself. But it's the only way that I will learn and I will get things accomplished. I force myself to rewrite this list every single week. Every week I have to rewrite this 20, now 18 list of projects that I'm not working on. Why am I not working on it? Every time I go through this list, I think about these projects and why I'm not working on them, what I would need to do to finish them. Do I really want to finish them? Because of this, I ripped out 2 cardigans. I guess technically it was a cardigan and a half. I had one that it needed a sleeve and the ribbing around the edge, and it would have been done. It would have taken me 2 days to finish. I was not inspired to work on it. I didn't want to work on it. It made me angry every time I looked at it. Pulled it out of the bag, tried it on. I didn't like how it fit. I ripped it out, and it felt so good. So then I went and I looked at the other cardigan that I had, and it was a knit cardigan, and it was past the sleeve separation, halfway through the body. I hated the color. I was like, well, if I finish it, maybe somebody else can wear it. Maybe somebody else will like the color. I really hated the color. I really did not want to work on it. I could not bring myself to knit any further on that. I ripped it out. If I don't like it and I don't enjoy working on it, there's no point in keeping it. I had been sitting on that for probably 5 years. If I haven't finished it in 5 years, I'm probably not going to. If after 5 years of being in a bag in a closet, I still don't like it, I'm not going to finish it. Ripped them out, and it felt so good. So, I am challenging y'all to try this system. Make your list and see what all you find. See how you feel about these projects. Rewrite it week after week and see if your feelings change. Are you re-inspired to work on something? Are you just never going to work on something? Maybe you don't even need to rip it out. Maybe you just need to take it out of the bag and throw it directly in the trash. I did that with one of my projects. I cut the string on it and I threw it in the trash. That's just how it was. That may be hard for some of y'all to hear, and maybe making this list week after week will help you to make the hard decisions like that. You don't have to make a decision right away about everything. You're going to see when I go through my projects, I don't know what I want to do with some of them yet. So I'm working on the ones that I do know what I want to do with, and I'll get to the harder ones later when I'm feeling more confident and like I know what I'm doing. Then I'll make those decisions. Right now, I can weed out the easy ones. So, like I said, you can do this with any notebook, but if you're like me, then your life is magically going to get better with a new notebook. I am one of those people. New, fresh start to life, new outlook on how to be organized. I need a new notebook, a new clean, empty notebook for it. I have the notebook for you. I made one, and it is based on what I have been doing in my blank dot grid. So apparently this did its job, and it did inspire me to create. So it has a fun knit cover. Of course, if you crochet, I mean, that works too. The book doesn't discriminate. So you can make goals, and then right down here is where you can make your own key. Progress key being that these little check boxes, you can use them for multiple things. When I finish a project, I put a star in the box. That way it's done. I rewarded myself with a star. If I simply made progress on it for the day, I put a circle. You don't have to use my symbols. You can use whatever symbols make you happy. If you just want to use checks and crosses, it's all about you. It's what works for you. So, I even have an R next to one of mine because I ripped it out. The weekly layout in this, you have a big mirror to write all of your projects. There are, I believe, 26 lines on it. It's a mirror so that every week you can reflect on these projects as you rewrite them. Decide, you know, have your feelings changed. On this side, you have all the days of the week, and you can use this in one of two ways. I like to write down what I work on. So every time I pick up a new project, I write it on the list. And it keeps track of what I have done. And again, I'll use the little boxes to put a circle because I worked on it, a star because I finished it, an R because I got rid of it. Or if you're a planner and you like to pre-plan out your week, you can go ahead and fill it in advance and say, this is what I'm going to work on this day. This is what I'll work on this day. And then check it off as you do it. It's really very user-friendly, and you can do whatever works for you. So, by the time this video goes up, this should be in my Etsy shop. If you are interested in that and you think that it will help you, I've been doing this for about a month and a half, 2 months, something like that. And it has helped me so much. It doesn't sound like it, but I had over 20 projects and now I have 18. And that's including the new exciting things that I just cast on. I just hope that this will help somebody else. Now, let's get into all of this that I have going on. If you watch my weekly podcast, you're not going to recognize most of this. I have, I don't know, maybe 5 projects that y'all have seen, and the rest of it has been in hiding for a very long time. I haven't seen some of these projects in 2 years. So, I will start with the newest and go to the oldest. If I know details, I will share them with you. The problem is, I started podcasting in January, and I didn't keep notes before January on any of my projects, which is why it's so hard to pick some of these back up, because I don't know the pattern. I don't know what needle or hook I was using, and now I don't know how to finish the project. But if I know the information, I'll share it with you and we'll play it by ear. So, starting with the newest, I have a Miss Fiber Fox bag with a Felici by Knit Picks sock in Red Rocks. This is from their previous update of colors and no longer available, but they did just release all their new colors, so that's fun. I am just still on the very first sock. I just started this project, and I'm just going to throw stuff on the floor as I get done with it. Start clearing this couch off. My 3 by the Sea s'mores bag has Southern Skeins yarn. This was one of the monthly colorways with my camp stitch marker. So this is Spring Chick and Easter Grass. This is the second sock, and I am at the toe. So these are almost done. These are not projects that I'm worried about. I'm very excited. They will get finished. did not bring that in here. I forgot a project. I have the Southern Skeins and a lovely Blunder Knits blanket square. That is a year-long project. So every month I make a new square. So that is a project that I'll be working on all year long, and I mean, it's going to be on the list for a while. Not real concerned about it because it gets done every month. Okay. My sea glass tea is this one. This is Woolen Pine Design. I know y'all have seen the knit sweaters that everybody was working on. This is the t-shirt, and it's the crochet version of it. I like it. I will eventually get back to working on it because it's really pretty. I just kind of lost steam. There were other new shiny projects to work on. I really do need to get back to this and start working on it. I plan to finish it, so I'm keeping this. In the bag I have all the different yarns that I'm using. And that's one that y'all have seen on the podcast. My dino toy. This is a project for work that I started and I just haven't finished. Ooh. He's gonna be a dinosaur. Rawr. It's a pattern that I'm writing for myself, just for toys to sell in my shop, and my hands started hurting, so I stopped crocheting for a while, and I just need to go back and finish him. Finish writing the pattern, and yeah. Again, not super worried about this project. It will get done. My muscle burl hat. This is another Miss Fiber Fox bag with Fangirl Fibers yarn, part of the Gilmore Girl collection. So I use 3mm needles, and yeah, I have a little Pop-Tart from Silly Sheep Design. This is a project that's going to take a while. I started it for card knitting because it just goes round and round. I don't have to look at it. If I have to look at something or read something, I'm going to get car sick. So this is a card knitting project. I'm not real worried about it because it just kind of is what it is, and it'll get done when it gets done. I'd like it done before winter. And I can hear a dog asking to be let in because it's not daycare day. I'll be right back. My scrappy blanket. So this is in last year's camp bag from the Crazy Sock Ladies Spreadshirt shop. Y'all have seen this. It is, ooh, I should have brought notes in here for these. Betsy Makes, I believe, is the design. It's on my projects page on my website. So this is all scrap yarn left over from socks. Every time I make a pair of socks, I put the yarn into my blanket. This is a very long project. I knew that when I started it, and it'll get done when it gets done. I am still working on it, so I'm not worrying about it because it is very slowly but surely having things added. A baby sweater. That's gonna be down here. I have multiple projects living in this bag. So this is Knit One Oxford. It was the local yarn shop in Oxford. They no longer exist. But I was working on a baby sweater. I was going to put it in my shop to just simply sell, but I don't like knitting with worsted weight yarn. Not with this tight of a gauge. This is the Tin Can Knits Baby Flax sweater. It's Hobby Lobby. I love this yarn, which is fine. I've made 2 sweaters out of it, a few baby sweaters out of it. I just don't enjoy it enough for it to be something that I put in my shop. So this is getting ripped out. I don't care that it's so close to being done. I don't want to put it in my shop. I don't want to start selling these, so it's getting ripped out because this is yarn that was purchased with the business account. I'll rip it out. It will become something new and different. Okay. My pleat tank top. I believe this pattern was called Pretty in Pleats, and I don't remember the designer's name, but I know that this is definitely on my project page, so you can go look at that on my website. This is a tank top that I started. It's a bottom up, and I am to the separation for the front and the back of it, which is why it's kind of awkwardly like this. I don't like it. I don't like the construction of it. I don't know what to tell you. I got to this point in the pattern and it started getting a little confusing and wonky, and I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing, and that is when I switched and I went and found a different tank top pattern for the one that y'all saw me finish. And I'm ripping this out. I'm going to rip this out. I'm going to salvage the yarn, and it will have a new and better life. I still have needles on here. See, this is part of the problem. Oh my, it won't go back in the bag now. I have all these needles and hooks that are hiding in bags. Some of the older ones, I've taken them out and used them for other projects, so I don't know what size I was supposed to have. But then for things like this that are kind of newer, the needles are still in the bag, and I hadn't been able to find those, and I've been looking for them. Now I can rip it out, have my needles back, and use it for a project that I will actually finish. Okay, my wave blanket. This is my Fates Thread Jumbo bag. And I am using Knit Picks Wool of the Andes Superwash. So y'all have seen this. It's a beautiful wave blanket. This is on my project page. You can go find the details of the pattern there because I don't remember off the top of my head. Very simple. It's going to be a blanket. I need to work on this. This is one that I have set down now for a few months, and if I continue to let it sit, I won't finish it. You good? Okay. Pepper Ann's going to join us. So, this is one that I am worried about. I need to work on it before I just completely lose any motivation. And I still have the hook in there, so I know what I'm doing on that one. I think I also have notes on this because I started it this year. It's always nice when you have the notes for things. Okay, my hexagon blanket is the other project that was in this bag. What is that? Oh my god, okay. This, I told y'all, some of these things I haven't looked at in a while. I have stolen the needles from this project, and so that my stitches wouldn't fall off, I put a binder clip on it. Okay. This is my hexagon blanket. It is being knit magic loop until it gets big enough, but I made it up. I'll eventually probably share my pattern with y'all. I used the invisible start from the Muscle Burrow hat, and then I just made up my own increases by 5 so it becomes a hexagon, and it's worked in the round because that's what I enjoy. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I don't know. Ooh, it's a big ball of yarn too. So it should be a decent size blanket, at least a lapgan. I don't know what I'll do with it. I just kind of wanted to work on something, and I am, oh dear, fuzzies. I love working on blankets. I'm not very good at finishing blankets, but I love working on them and I love starting them. So that's another one that's going to be a problem. I need to work on that. I need to finish it. I need to decide that I definitely want to finish it. So, like I said, some of these I know exactly what I'm doing. Some of these I don't. I'm going to be honest with y'all. Next is a granny square tank top that I'm working on, and it's just a random little bag here. I saw this on Pinterest, and I simply looked at the photo and said, I can do that, and started making a tank top. You make 4 of these, and then they hang at this angle, kind of like so, and become a really cute drapey tank top. And there's a border with sleeves. I have 2 of them. Oh, no. I have 1 in a piece. And this is Hobby Lobby yarn, some kind of DK something something that is being discontinued apparently, because I just bought a second ball of it the other day for like $1. But yeah, so I have 1 in a piece, and hopefully that second ball will get me the rest of the way through this. Uh-oh. There's no hook in here. I don't know what size hook I was using for this project. Maybe it's in an old notebook. Seems like I sketched out the rough idea plan for this in a notebook somewhere. So maybe I can find that and be able to finish this one. I would like to be able to finish this. Simply because I think it'll be kind of cute and flowy. But this is to be determined. It depends on if I can find the hook for it. If I can't, then I'm gonna have to frog it and do something else with that one. My rainbow tall socks. This is a Estee Lauder bag. I use whatever bags I can find. So, this is Knit Picks Stroll Gradient Duos, which they don't sell anymore. and it makes me very sad because I really like them. You get 2 50-gram cakes that match, and I bought the rainbow ones. Aren't they pretty? So I made this toe up. It was the first time I had ever made a toe up sock. I do not like the toe on it. I'm not a big fan of how it fits either, because it's so tall. I have holes in the toes because I don't think I did the increases correctly. I was learning, and I don't like the toe. The heel is okay. If I remember correctly, it was a flux heel or a flax heel, something like that. It's made backwards. It's a heel flap and gusset, but backwards. So I have that, and oh dear, a foot, like a toe. I have a toe. I am using just metal DPNs and all tangled. I don't know what's going on, but the metal DPNs hurt my hands, which is why I stopped, and that is a very pointy toe. That is not the same toe. I have no idea what I'm doing here. So these, I probably started these January, February of 21. I'm trying to remember. I've had them for a while now. You gonna lay down? Good girl. Yeah, so I've had these for a while, and I don't love the fit of this. Clearly the toes don't match. I don't know what I was doing, but I am going to rip this out. I even have some red that didn't get used. No. I am going to rip out this entire sock. I had not woven my ends in because I wanted to make sure that I liked it. I don't like it. I will be ripping this out and starting over. I don't know what starting over looks like yet, like what kind of sock it will become, but I will cross that bridge later. All I know is I'm not keeping this. So I can go ahead and rip it out and deal with it on another day. My hexapuffs. You've heard of the beekeeper's quilt. Everybody's heard of the beekeeper's quilt. You make these little hexagonal puffs. Pepper. Okay. And you stuff them with polyfill. And then you stitch them all together. I have a big jar of them, and my intention was never to make a blanket. I wanted to make a cushion for my fireplace hearth, and I think I have enough. I just need to lay them out and see. I thought about doing that over the winter, but decided against it because we actually had the fireplace on, and I didn't want anything catching fire. That's my luck. It would all catch on fire. So now that it's spring, we've turned the fireplace off, closed it all up. I am going to be working on this and putting them together. And if you have not done this project, my favorite part is how much they squish. Look at that. I just love to put my hand in this jar. It makes me happy. So this is one of those knitting jars where you're supposed to pull the string out, and I never use it that way. So again, project that needs to get done, and I have plans for it. Green granny sweater. I don't know what to do with this. I purchased this mega ball of yarn and made a tank top out of it. It was really, really hot and not very comfortable to wear because this is a worsted weight yarn, and it was really, really warm. I used the leftover and I just started a granny square with it, and I was like, let's see how far I can get, and this is how far I got, and it's really awkward. This is one that I haven't decided what to do with yet, so I can rip it out. Oh, I wonder if there's enough yarn here for a hat. I bet there's enough yarn here for a hat. Not for a blanket, but maybe for a hat, like a baby hat maybe. Okay, so decided. I was undecided until I just looked at it. I've decided this is getting ripped out, and I will attempt to make a baby hat with it and see if there's enough yarn for that. So, plans change. And I can change my mind at any time. Oh, my Halloween shawl. This is one of those that I completely forgot about. And I found it. Hey, no. I found it buried in the closet. 2015 maybe. Pam gifted me this ball of yarn, and it is 5 different, excuse you, must go chase the cat. Okay, so it was 5 different kinds of yarn that were all dyed the same and caked up together. So I decided to make a standard shawl with it. It's crocheted. I cannot tell what this pattern is, which is a little terrifying. I don't know what size hook I was using, and it's not gonna rip out. So let's see here. That is very much like a yarny yarn. This is like a chunky single ply kind of yarn. And then there's this stuff. This stuff is fuzzy, and while it feels really nice, it was a pain to work with, and I had gotten past it. But I know I can't rip it out. Like, it's just gonna floof everywhere and it's gonna knot and tangle. So this is a project I can't rip out. I'm gonna have to finish it. I will just wing it, y'all. I'll wing it. I will pick a hook, see if I can make it work, because of this fuzzy yarn, I'm gonna have to. It's either that or the garbage, and the yarn's too pretty to garbage. So I will be finishing that one. I'm just gonna have to wing it and see if I can decipher what the pattern is, because I know I don't have it written down. My African flower blanket. So I made a standard chevron blanket crocheted for our bed many years ago, and I had extra yarn left over, and that color looks horrendous on camera. Wow. They're bright. They're gnarly. This is Red Heart Super Saver. Oh yes, that was the good old days when I was learning to crochet and I could only afford Red Heart. After I finished the chevron blanket for us, I had some left over and I decided to make these African flowers. And they're really pretty. And I just kind of put together a little assembly line and made them in every color combination possible. And I just kept stacking them up and stacking them up with the idea that I would go as far as the yarn would take me. And little girl, you can go outside. I would go as far as the yarn would take me and assemble them. Well, I went as far as I got tired. So I collected all of them that I had and I laid them out to see what kind of thing I could get. I did that about a month ago. These 5 were extra, so they might just be pot holders. This is what I came up with. I think it goes this way. So, it's a decent size. It's very much a lap blanket size. And I kept with the shape, which is 6 sides, a hexagon. There we go. Oh, I think I called that other thing a hexagon. And it would be a pentagon. Yep. Oops. 5 sides is a pentagon. 6 is a hexagon. There we go. So this is 6-sided. I still have to go through and sew together areas like this between panels. Where's a finished edge? I know I have a finished edge on here somewhere. This one. This is what an edge looks like when it's finished. So these parts are together and then the points just point out. And it is rough and acrylic, so I will probably just run it through our washer and dryer and call it a day. I don't know what I'm going to do with this afterwards. I don't know if this will go into the donation bin or if I'll throw it over the back of our sofa. I don't know. I have to decide if I'm still mad at it after it gets washed. But I still have lots of ends to weave. But I am making progress on this one, and it will get finished. That was one that I could have thrown all these squares away, or I could just assemble them and be done with it. So I chose to assemble them and get it over with. It size shrank from the original plan, which was like a blanket, but I am a-okay with that. My very last project that I have to share with you. It's a knit happy bag. This is the one Pam and I did a little research and we started this in 2014. I say we because she purchased yarn and she made one, and I purchased yarn and I made one. This is a color work blanket. I was taking classes in Oxford and learning how to color work. It is absolutely gorgeous. I love it. I love it with every piece of my heart. It is so beautiful. You may recognize it if you've been to my website because I used it as a backdrop. I love it. I learned so much and it's gorgeous. So why didn't I finish it? The classes ended. the way that they were offering the classes, there was a weekend class and a weekday class, and you could pick which one you wanted to go to. I worked during the week, so I had to go to the weekend class. And as the months went on, a few people just completely dropped out and stopped. But there were some people that switched from the weekend class over to, you're getting on my nerves. Go. Must chase the cat again. There were people that switched from the weekend class over to the weekday class, and it got to the point that I was the only person in the weekend class, and they were like, oh, just whenever you finish a stripe, you can come in and we'll help you start the next one. You'll just be in a class by yourself. That's not fun. Like, I was enjoying getting to know the ladies and chatting with them and learning as a group, and now it's just me, and it wasn't as much fun. And if I don't have a deadline, if you just tell me whenever you finish the stripe, come in, I need the deadline. Otherwise, this happens and I never finish. So, let's see here. I have, oh dear. I have a panel that is on needles. These are Haya US 6 4mm. I bought these needles for the class. I bought this yarn from their shop for the class. Wow, that's probably almost finished. So the blanket's made in panels and then sewn together. I have lots of yarn. It is Berroco Weekend DK. It's acrylic and cotton. I like it. It feels nice. I should have enough here to finish the blanket. If you're interested, oh dear, it is Building in Color. And this is Purl. Knit Purl Hunter, Michelle Hunter. Wonderful book. I have all of my notes. I have everything here to finish it, and it gets finished with a peacoat edging. But I don't know. It's an awkward size because it's not just real big. Oh, I don't know, y'all. This is my main one that I'm hung up on that I don't know what to do with. I love it and I will not throw it away. I don't know if I'll ever finish it. It might just get hung on the wall as is. I don't know what to do with this one. And that's okay. I have plenty of other projects here that I can work on and try to finish before I have to decide what to do with this. So, that is everybody. That is all of my projects. That is all of my bags of shame pulled out from hiding for y'all to see. I have a lot of work to do. So I need to rip some stuff out. I need to find hooks, needles, patterns. I have a lot of work to do, but it's getting better. Like I said, I've ripped out 2 cardigans already. It's a process and it's going to take a long time. So if y'all enjoyed this video and you want to see more, maybe a monthly update video on how this chaos is going, let me know in the comments and I might start a new segment that is monthly chaos. I don't know. I can share it. Otherwise, just as I get finished with things, it might pop past the screen on my weekly podcast, but don't feel overwhelmed. Try to take a deep breath, make your list, remake your list every week, and just breathe. It's just yarn. It's not that big of a deal. It will get taken care of as you can. Just pay attention and think about it. So I'll keep thinking, I'll keep reevaluating every week, and I will go rip some stuff out now. Alright, it has been wonderful sharing all of this with y'all. I hope it helps somebody, at least one person. I hope it helps, and I will talk to y'all again later. Bye. Okay, I know that this has ended up being a much longer video than I anticipated it to be, but I wanted to pop in and let y'all know that I ripped out the baby sweater. The green granny square that was getting nowhere, so now I'm quite positive I have enough for a baby hat in that now. The tall rainbow socks have been ripped out, and my Pretty in Pleats tank top that I was working on. All of this can now go back into stash and become something that I enjoy, something that will fit, something I'll like, and I recovered about 4 sets of needles. I feel so much better. I needed this. I needed to just sit down and rip out a whole bunch of projects, and I feel a lot better. I hope that maybe you can rip out a project or two and feel better as well.